It's rare to find really humble people in LA, and it was dope to meet.
All right, guys, as you know, we've been doing more interviews. We actually have a new channel known as Famous Interviews, and that's where we're going to post full interviews and also some clips. So if you haven't already subscribed, be sure to do that. But today it is Yung Gravy. I'm a massive fan of this guy. We dropped this before they were famous about a year ago, and it did really well. And he really liked it, so that's why me and him, we jumped on a FaceTime, and we talk about absolutely everything. In fact, I even asked him this, which is actually kind of relevant because I got called out for shit like this just like today. Anyway, this is what I asked him. As a white rapper, there was some restraints on you, or is that water under the bridge? But that's just the tip of the iceberg because we talk for an entire half an hour. We're gonna give you guys the entire interview here. Also, be sure to check out his new album, Gasanova. It's out now on all streaming services. All right, now let's roll that interview. Interviews are new. I've never said that before. Now let's roll that interview. Sounds good. All right, you've seen it before they were famous, but you've seen him everywhere. I saw him at the Icebox with Trevor Wallace. He just dropped a music video for Yup. He's got his new album coming out. We're sitting down with Yung Gravy. Thanks for being on the show, bro.
You know what it is, baby. What's good? What's good? Good to be here.
We've been trying to we met in the DMs. Actually, the guys that work here are massive fans, and they were like, "You got to speak to this guy." So we've been trying to get this interview going for a couple weeks now, but we finally caught him. You at your mom's crib in Minnesota?
Yep. Just got back to visit mama. It's been nice, man. It's chill. It's where I grew up.
Back where it all started. This is the house you did your first rap where you became Yung Gravy?
Yeah, actually, I started rapping with friends at freestyle at the summer camp I used to work at. Believe it or not, I was a fucking camp counselor. I was like you wouldn't think because of my music, but I used to teach kids how to sail at a summer camp in northern Minnesota. And now, and then I actually started legit rapping when I went to school in Madison, Wisconsin. So I hadn't even made music here until quarantine. But I made a whole album here now, so it's now it's a staple.
Dope. So you actually recorded this in your hometown, or you built a studio in the house?
This is my hometown, yeah, Rochester, Minnesota. It's like the only other city in Minnesota, pretty much, other than Twin Cities. Just got an apartment in Minneapolis. That place is fire. But there's a studio. They just built a pretty dope studio here, actually. This town's starting to pop off. We met a cool engineer, and we made the whole album here. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's mad different than my other album processes. My first album was just being created slowly over time, over traveling, touring, and this one was all kind of cramped into a few months and same studio and everything. But I don't know. Honestly, in a way, I think I made it better. It was I could focus more, and I did more co-production on everything, and could kind of do things I wanted to because I'm working with the same people the whole time.
It's totally different doing it from the come up to you've established something and you've made it, right? Was there a different mindset? How did that affect you?
That's got to be part of it too. I mean, for me as a SoundCloud rapper, it's weird. It's almost the come up is a different sort of feeling where when you're as a SoundCloud rapper, once you get once you get a song on Spotify, you came up. That's as a SoundCloud rapper, knowing all these other kids, all right, you made it. Once you do a show, you came up, So it was that was when I first started rapping, I was once I can get if I can DM Currency and get a response, he's one of my favorite rappers, I'll be all right, then I made it. That's all I need. I can go do a different job if I have to. Or once I do a show with 500 people, then I made it. But then it's it was just crazy. Me and bbno Money were the two that were kind of working together deep at SoundCloud and coming up together. And then it was just wild, after doing, this tour started happening, getting bigger and bigger, and he was opening for me, and now he's, carrying me in a way, in a lot of ways. We just were, it feels so good to have, a brother who now is finally getting the appreciation he deserves. But yeah, man, I felt for me, it was once I got a deal, it's just, oh, you made it. But now it's I understand the process behind the music way better, and I appreciate the creation of it more than just getting in the studio and be oh, this beat is dope, let me just rap on it real quick. I got a lot more into the actual musical, I learned a lot more about the actual process and stuff, which is nice.
It's crazy. So I came into all this stuff from a traditional media standpoint. I was wanting to be a TV host, right? So that's it would take you 20 years to maybe get a gig that could pay the rent. But like you guys are popping off in record time and like experiencing so much stuff and becoming the man in town like overnight, bro. Does your head not
it's pretty wild. Like looking back at like the first song I put out was probably 3.5 years ago. It's just kind of weird to think like it happened so fast but like at the same time it's like, yo, the first 1.5 years probably of being a SoundCloud rapper is like literally you work all these hours or whatever, you put all this time in and you don't get any it's just such a slow grind, and then it's just like once you have something that pops off. For me it was Mr. Clean. It was just like everything kind of just changes, you know. It's like I'm sure that's how a lot of the rappers that pop out these days, and a lot of people I talk to too, like Ski, Chippy Red, like a lot of these people, it's like you have a song pop off and everything changes, you know. It's just because the internet can do that these days.
It's amazing.
Wow.
So tell me about like the early days. Like who's the first people that came into your DMs? Like who were you chilling with at like the beginning?
The beginning, man, it was like I was in Madison. There was like a small scene there. There was this kid Ishtar who was from Milwaukee, who was kind of like an inspiration. There's Bobby Raps and Tip, who's now my DJ, and Mod Son, all these artists from Minneapolis I looked up to, Atmosphere, and those guys obviously. But hitting me up, actually, I think the first person to hit me up was Alan Kingdom, who I know he did something with Kanye. He's a Minneapolis rapper. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but like, man, for real, it was slow. And then it would be like slowly different people hitting me up, like, or the earliest, but like, it just kind of exponentially went up. I remember I got tweeted at by T-Pain saying, yo, Hannibal Buress just showed me this artist, my new favorite rapper, Young Gravy. And I was like, yo, these are two of my idols. First of all, Hannibal Buress, why did you never tell me that you me? Second of all, T-Pain, let's make a song, you know, like that. It's slowly, I mean, like I said, it's kind of exponential. And then within the same past year, I had Gordon Ramsay dancing to my song, and Dame Judi Dench was dancing to that shit on some video. I'm just like, man, it's wild how that happened. I mean, it's dope because having a hardcore fan base like that is they're gonna show their friends, and then their friends are gonna happen to have an aunt that's in James Bond and force her to listen to my music, and then you probably force her to dance to it too.
What does your mom have to say about all this? Like, can she believe it?
She loves it, man. It's pretty dope to have the support and not like I was afraid. Like I didn't tell when I first started rapping, I actually didn't tell anybody that I knew about it at all. I was like, yo, I don't want to be that, because there were so many kids that I grew up with that were like trying to be rappers and would be like, yo, forcing it on you, yo, check out my shit. Even like, there's probably like just a couple, even like one of my best friends, I didn't tell him until like 6 months in. I was like, yo, check this song out. I just found this random rapper. Because for the first year and a half of making music, I didn't show my face at all. I only used like pinup photos from the 50s as like all my album art and all that. Then I would like, what were we talking about? Why did I start saying that?
Well, we're talking about your mom, but this is interesting.
Oh, no. Yeah. So I wouldn't show my face or anything. And I had this job in Madison where I was working as like kind of like a marketing director for venture capital folks, where like I would take these crazy inventions like that these professors at Madison were like creating, and then market it into some that people can actually get rather than their little PowerPoint. It's like basically working with smart ass people and then turning their little creations into something that people won't want to buy, because like I was just really good with all that like psychology, marketing.
That reminds me, that's like Lil Dicky. He was in advertising before.
Really? Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because I think that my sort of branding and marketing knowledge helped a lot with like helping me grow. And like all the rappers I worked with, I was like, you have to do this, try this, trust me. That's so fun. That's probably why like I sort of a solid brand grew over time. But anyways, didn't show anybody my music for a long time. Finally, it ended up, my mom found it through a friend on accident. After like a year of me making music, and my friend accidentally mentioned it, and I was just like, all right, mom, look, I'm gonna be straight with you. Yeah, I'm rapping, and it's just for fun or whatever. And then within like a couple months of that, I got offered a full tour and dropped a major, and so I could graduate college early. And luckily, she was just so supportive, man. She loved it, even though the lyrics are so ignorant. Like all of her friends that she kicks it with her med, like cool. And they know me as a person too, where it's like, yeah, like that's kind of my personality, what I rap about, and like I get ignorant, but I also can respect, like, I don't know, like I can hang out with 60-year-olds and have a great time as well, and not start talking about titties, you know.
Yeah.
Like she loved it, and she'll loves it, and will always play. Actually, she'll play my music on her like Amazon Alexa that I set up, and I'll be like, Mom, like, you gotta stop. Like, I can't listen to my own music anymore in this house. Like, you gotta cut it out. So she's a big supporter.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You checked off one of the questions we had for you. We were gonna say, how has your marketing degree been useful throughout your career? But I think.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I always was into psychology and all that shit, sociology, and then in college I just went into it just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do it. I had a hella majors that I tried out, and then like. I wasn't even interested in business at all, and then I just like started hustling a few little things, and then like, yeah, I was just like, fuck it, I'm doing marketing and finance, and I was about to double major, and I dropped finance at the end, but I'm still like digging into a lot of that stock related shit. We can get into that another time, but I actually ran some other businesses before the music stuff. In college, my roommate and I started this company called the Pizza Roller, where we bought this, like, it's kind of like a souped up golf cart basically, but it's it's like electrical, electric charged or whatever, like
the Fred Flintstone car.
It was the first Tesla I was whipping, you know. No, basically it's like this vehicle that I've seen them in other towns too, like college towns. It's like people will drive them around and put lights on them, and they have like 6 seats, and like people like pay for rides or whatever. What we did was we attached this big metal thing to the back of it, and we partnered with this local pizza company, and we would hire people to drive around Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights and sell pizza by the slice to drunk people. Because I went to Madison, which is like the biggest party school. And like, man, that was my first big hustle, and like we were just doing it for fun, and it really, really popped off, and we like really succeeded. So I was like, man, like I gotta keep trying.
Entrepreneur through and through.
Music was the next one.
Amazing, bro. Amazing. We have a question about. Listen, I was going to ask you about your heritage. Are you German or Swiss or what is that?
Yeah, I'm Swiss Italian. Most of my most of my relatives that are still around all live in like the Alps, like in Switzerland and Italy and France. Like pretty much, like my dad grew up in a family of 6 in Switzerland. Moved here when he was 20, and very poor, and like most of my relatives like live in the villages of Switzerland and Italy with no internet, none of that. And like I've like gone out there, literally the last time I had a show in Zurich, I went out there and like rented a car so I could drive to my aunt's house and like bring the doorbell and be like, hey, like I miss you, come to my show, come check it out, I'm a musician now. Like my relatives are that, but they love life. Like they're so humble, they travel all the time. They just don't care about any of this internet shit yet. You know, like they're all like in their 70s to 90s, but that's like my family. They all live in Switzerland or Italy. And then my mom's side is British, so
got it.
Swiss, Italian, British.
All right, so that's like,
everyone thinks I'm Swedish. Every time I say Switzerland, they'll be like, "Oh hell yeah, dude, Sweden, man. That's where, yeah." Everyone's blonde there. I'm like, well, no, I mean it's a little different. But yeah, that's what everyone thinks.
Got it. What about so when I was growing up, like I got a decade on you, but like white rappers, right? Like Eminem paved the way, but everyone else after was like a copycat of Eminem. Anyway, we're not in that era now, right? Like there's a guy of every nationality doing it. But did you find like as a white rapper there was some restraints on you, or is that water under the bridge?
It's a good question, man. I was like, I've had people give me a lot of their own sort of thoughts on what it is. I never thought there'd be any difference. I mean, I mean, this had nothing to do with it for the first year and a half. Like I said, I didn't reveal my face, and I didn't really see any difference after that between like with the fans. I mean, a lot of people were like surprised, like, oh, dude, this dude's white because he's a low voice or whatever. But I was like other than that, it was like I've never really seen a difference. I mean, let me think. I've had people kind of like make like the quick assumptions about it, you know, especially when I walk into like a studio in certain cities. It's like immediately I'll just get like looked at until I start, or like whatever, not taking it seriously until I started playing some of my music. And I've also had some people that think that it gives me an actual advantage, where they'll be like, oh, well, there's these kids that are living in suburbs and aren't really supposed to rap, and they'll see a white rapper and somehow feel comfortable with it. To me, there's weird little nuances, but I really don't think that. I think at this point, man, 2020, I don't think race really has anything to do with success in music, man. I think people have enough appreciation for music itself.
I agree with you. I also really love like the college vibe, the humor that you bring to all your videos, to your lyrics, to your artistry. Like for me, I'm just having a good time being a fan of you. Like it's just such fun, such hilarious stuff, right?
Thank you. Yeah. And I've had a lot of people that'll like try to like explain the music. It's cool to read like reviews. They'll try to explain it and like, because they're like, oh, he's kind of like Lil Dicky, where he's like he's really comical, but then at the same time he's like, you know, I'm songs that aren't comical, and he's trying all these different styles. And I'd say like the head of UMG and I were having this meeting, and he was trying to explain. He was like, with a bunch of people, he was like, yo, this is fun music. This is hype music. It's funny. It's whatever, but fun. We're like, that's how we described it as fun. And I was like, you know what? I kind of fuck with that. It's like we're making music. Both bbno Money and I have always like we take the sonical, like the actual sound of the music first. It's like you want to make like go through 80 beats and find the one that you like. Like we're really picky about it. Make sure that all of the flows and stuff sound good. I'll usually make a full song of just gibberish where I'm just rapping and not really making sense, and then until it sounds good, and then I go back and write the lyrics, and then the things that come to mind just end up kind of being that like goofy or like fun. But that's how we usually started sonically, and then start rapping. And I mean, both of us. I mean, I guess I can't always speak for any, but both of us, I feel like usually just off the dome, it's just you get some ignorant lyrics, and I love it, man. It's just that's what people want you to know.
As a fan looking in, that all makes a lot of sense to me. We have a question. So one of my editors here, he's like obsessed. He wants to talk to you when this is all done. But he asked me to ask you, what's the obsession with penetrating someone?
Penetrating somebody? just general, just sex?
In your lyrics, like your mom. This is for.
Yeah. Okay. The penetration. Okay. Yeah. I thought we were getting more specific. No. I don't know. I think it's just a good way. It's just a. I think in general, it's kind of my just go-to mental lyric. It's just, I mean, it's like it's been a very common symbol, very common archetype throughout all of hip hop, and that one speaks to me the most. You know, it's kind of the one, other than like selling weed, that's probably the one that I'm the most well versed in of any hip hop topic, and everyone who inspired me raps about the same stuff, but I can mainly only relate to the drug dealing and the occasional jail experience and sexual intercourse. So I think the most family friendly is not a good way to describe it, but you know, that's what I can talk about the most.
Family friendly when everyone in the family's getting.
Yeah. I mean, or when they don't like drugs, but everyone can appreciate a little dick throwing. I think I don't know. I think also the M.I.L.F.S came in early. That was always a thing of mine, and then it was interesting. I think I'd only hooked up with like one M.I.L.F really before rapping, and then I started like really just spitting that. I don't know. It just really clicked with me. It was always a thing of mine, and then. It's hard to say, but like over time, like I've been in M.I.L.F.S, I've been with a lot more sense, and it's like I love the M.I.L.F.S, but I'm like I don't know how to like kind of break it to them that it's like, yo, I fuck with you, but like I'm accepting younger women now too, younger as in younger than 35. Not I don't really fuck with women younger than me, but I'm like, yo, like ladies, there's a window now that is open. So if you're 20, 26 or whatever it is, I mean, we're still taking off as well.
M.I.L.F.S are a good time though. In my experience, they know what they're doing because time's running out, I guess.
That's a dark way to put it, but yeah, I mean they've been around the block. They're fun, and it seems like usually it's like a vacation for them. You know, they've been doing whatever they've been doing for a while, and Never mind. Story for another time. I'll tell you after the end.
All right, yeah, we'll talk about that one in the DMs. We got another question from Misha here. Let's try and fly through some of these. What's your obsession? Wait, hold on. Wait. Where you deleted? Oh, he deleted one. What juice do you prefer, banana or Tropicana?
What juice do I prefer? I really like, oh man, honestly, dude, I drink a lot of juice. I drink a lot of milk too. I don't put that in there, so milk is slap that on. But Tropicana, they got the orange mango combo. That's my,
Amazing.
Yeah.
What do you think is the hottest part of poutine? Are you familiar with this Canadian dish?
I'm not huge on poutine, man. I tried it. I've been to I tried it in Toronto, Montreal, and both I've tried like once or twice, and it's tight, man. I mean, obviously, yeah, it was the gravy, which is dope, and it got cheese curds, which is from Wisconsin, but I don't know, man. I just don't like fries. I don't like potato products, so yeah.
I think he just wanted to hear you say I f with the gravy.
Okay, yeah, man.
There's a big like 80s theme. Like obviously you just did the Yup music video. We got like an Anchorman.
Oh, we've gone through all the decades, man. I used to be all 50s, and I've sampled songs from Miss Queen. I mean, Mr. Sandman's like a 30s sample, but yeah, I've been through a lot of decades. I like to kind of, I guess every project has a blend of them, but I kind of like to like go ahead in time as I'm going. If there's more like 70 samples now than there previously, there was like more 60s and shit. I mean, people aren't going to really recognize that, but for me, it's kind of fun. 80s has recently been in a lot of the content I've been putting out. That's just the music I listen to, man. Like I like rap, but like I get sick of it, and especially being a rapper, I just listen to like soul music and funk and 80s rock and all that. You know, it's just what I listen to, so I like to include it in the music.
Ditto. Okay. Are you a fan of Meet the Fockers?
I don't know why, but like I think I was freestyling at the studio, and then that bar came to mind, and it doesn't really make sense, but like it just sounds so hard. I think Meet the Parents was a beautiful movie. Meet the Fockers was a little bit less fire, but it just worked so well, and yeah, it had to stick. I mean, even if you don't know what the Fockers are, the song, I mean, that line sounds intimidating or whatever it is.
Do you consider Nelly Furtado to be an ideal woman?
Yes.
I heard she...
I don't know if anyone could disagree with that. I think she might be cuffed now, I don't know, but the offer's out there, and hopefully she'll hear it. We'll see, but I got love for Nelly Furtado. Promiscuous, man-eater, whatever the other one is, man, she got some classic.
Bro, I don't want to burst your bubble. She's a Canadian artist. Word gets, I shouldn't even, I'll save this for the DMs as well, but something that...
Isn't she like Brazilian, but also Canadian, and is kind of more Canadian or something? Like, I don't know.
What?
Well...
Portuguese. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Portuguese, okay. Oh, much better.
And the last question from Misha here is, do you listen to Flo Milli?
Hell yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. How'd you know? That's a funny connect, because like basically my best friend since childhood, we kind of like right after high school, we went to a different college or whatever, we kind of like didn't see each other for a minute, but we'd still keep in touch. And then I was like, dude, like, I don't know, even if I went to college, I was like, bro, you gotta come with me on tour. I want to show you the music industry. And then, long story short, like we did everything together for like a while. Like I just bring him wherever I went on music stuff, because he got really into the industry and started managing artists. And he managed like a few other artists that I kind of introduced him to. But recently, I mean, probably a year ago, he found Flo Milli, and they've been working together this whole time. Shout out to Von Bullery, it's my dog. That's how I met Flo Milli, and I went to her birthday party. I met her a couple times. Her music's dope, and yeah, man, I'm a big fan.
Cool.
Shout out to Flo Milli, shout out to Von Bullery.
We featured Flo Milli on it before they're famous, like a week or two ago. So definitely a star on the rise. I think we're gonna wrap this up quickly. I just kind of want to know about how you made this like Brat Pack with Trevor Wallace and BB No Money, of course. But you've got like this Churdleys, like this crew of cool dudes or funny guys. How did you find them? How did you guys click? And like, yeah, where did that all come from?
That's a good question. I think that whenever I'm on tour, a lot of times I'll kind of invite, like if I know someone stays in a particular place or whatever, if I know that they're going to be wherever I'm at, I'll always invite people to come to the show so I can meet them or whatever, because if we just like interact on DMs a little bit. There's just particular people they'll come and we'll just like click really, really hard, you know what I mean? Like obviously I kick with those guys a lot, but then there's also like Noel and Cody, I love those kids, like all these Miami kids, Puya and all them, sometimes we just click really hard, but yeah, Trevor and Churdley's, me and Churdley's had a really crazy night with Dirt Nasty actually oh no, sorry, I was in the interview. You know Dirt Nasty?
Yeah.
On Rex?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's like my uncle. Not literally, but pretty much. And we all had a crazy night in Santa Cruz one time, and then from there on, it was just like over in LA. We kick it all the time. And Trevor and I got along well. Great kids, man. It's rare to find really humble people in LA, and it was dope to meet kids that are like that.
That we're going through all their before they were famouses right now, and I'm like, damn, like I didn't know a crew of dudes that I could like get along with or felt like, yo, these are decent people with no agenda. I was like, oh man, I found like a shrine of great people.
It is weird, man, with how many people I've met that have I'm from the Midwest. I guess Canadians can relate too. I mean, like bbno, obviously from Vancouver. I feel like it's kind of a different, like, I don't want to hate on West Coast or East Coast, but it's just kind of like a different mentality. And like, I just feel like I would go into these meetings where like people are just talking money the whole time. I'm like, dude, why don't we just talk about something else? Like, this is kind of whack, you know? Like, I'm talking like early, like label, but it's just really cool to find down to earth people. And Churdley's and Trevor are both from Cali, and they still have that vibe. So I mean, there's people from everywhere that have it, but it's just rare in the music industry, I think.
Totally. Yeah, it's very dog-eat-dog, and I think everything's just happening so fast right now. Everyone's just trying to get as much as they can before it falls apart, but it won't. Like, the internet's here to stay, right?
That's how I feel, man. It's like people are always like, oh, dude, you gotta get your song popping on TikTok. You gotta do this. I'm like, yeah, I don't really like that stuff. Like if people like the music, they're gonna listen to it. That's always been my thing. It's like, you put out a song, it doesn't get 1 million views in a week. It's like, dude, I mean, if it's good, they're gonna listen to it. I got songs from 2017 that people are still listening to pretty regularly. I'm like, man, that's what matters. If they like it, they'll love it, you know?
Amazing. All right, so let's just wrap it up quickly, but I want to hear about your album. It's dropping on October 2nd?
October 2nd, yep. It just got officially confirmed. That was the date, but you know how labels are. Finally, it's officially October 2nd. Gasanova releasing the album art pretty soon. I would say it's just it's gonna be a good follow up to Sensational, man. There's some classic gravy on there. There's some experimental. There's all the features are just some of my favorite artists per usual. I'm really picky with features. I don't like to work with anyone unless I really fuck with them. So we got Ski Mask on the first track, and my boy Trippy the Kid. And I mean, Ski Mask always been one of my favorite rappers. And we've been talking forever about doing a track together, but we finally got one. First time I've ever let an artist go harder than me on my own song. First time ever where I let an artist body me in my own song, and Ski went off. So he's on there. Young Dolph, who's one of my favorite rappers. 2 Baby on Money features. 2 Chief Keef features, and then because I'm just in the studio with them all the time, and then
I got shivers.
Polly Raps, who's a Minnesota legend, so
wow,
it's fun,
dude. I got shivers because this is I don't know. I've been talking about these guys for so long. It's a small world now.
Yeah, I mean, those are like the people I just named are some of my favorite artists, man. Those people that I change tastes all the time, but people that I've been continually listening to since day one, and it's just dope to get them on the album. And I mean, I've gotten very rarely, but I've gotten features before where you could tell the artist didn't really go into it, and it's almost always we're working in a studio, but since Corona, I'm it was all remote, and it's all right, well, hopefully they actually fucking care and go off, and everyone just wanted to fuck off. I mean, I guess that's, I'm only referring to the fucking Dolph, because he was the only one that we had to do remotely, but went off, and I love all the features, man. It's dope.
That's fun.
Came out hot.
You made it, man. You did it. This guy, congrats to you, man. Super amazing. Be sure to check out Gasanova And man, I want to keep in touch with you. I'm going to follow you. I feel like you're going to be doing big things for a decade, and I got to keep making content. So if you want to keep taking my calls, we very much appreciate it.
Absolutely. Let's get it, and come kick it with me and the Brat Pack, brother, the Goons. Come kick it with us in.
Yeah,
come kick it with us in LA sometime. I'll be back in like a couple weeks.
As soon as COVID's done and I can cross the border, I'll be there.
Oh, that's facts. You're kidding. I'm working, so I've been talking to Alex, Baby Money, about it. And he's like, yo, I'm gonna come shoot this video, but then I can only see a certain amount of days, and then I have to go to my house and call the government every day to make sure that I'm quarantined. I was like, man, he's like, good thing World of Warcraft's dropping a new update. All right. And I was like, hell yeah, man, you're set. So yeah, man, it's crazy out there, but we'll kick it when everything's cleared up, hopefully.
Appreciate it, bro. All right, man. Okay, I'll catch you the next time.
Hey, man. Hey, it's been dope, yo. Good talking.
Appreciate it. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. Now, we drop a new video each and every day, so here's a recent drop that you might enjoy. We handpicked that one for you because if you like this video, you'll probably like that. We also got playlists like over here, so click on that if you want to see a whole list of a bunch of videos we've dropped in the past. And if you're new to the Fame Gang, be sure to subscribe and turn on them post notifications, and I'll see you guys in another video. Boom!